Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching, email coaching, as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have a self-study mini course, Telepathically Connect with Your Specific Person. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I want to address a comment that I tend to receive quite often, both from coaching clients and in my comments here on YouTube. And that is people claiming that it's very difficult for them to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Or also, if it's a situation or an experience that they're manifesting that they don't have prior experience with, they haven't experienced it before in the 3D, they're not even sure how they can get into that experience. They're not even sure how they can conjure up that feeling of being in the wish fulfilled. So this is what I want to address today. This is what I want to explain and clarify. This is what I'll be discussing in today's video. So stay tuned. So I know this is a common complaint. I call it complaint. It's not exactly a complaint. It's more like a concern that a lot of people have, especially if you guys are manifesting an experience that you haven't had in the 3D yet. A very common example would be getting married to my SP, imagining being married to my SP, and I've never been married before. So how does being married to someone even feel like? And so people get very concerned that if it's something that they haven't lived before, if it's something that they haven't experienced before, or if it's an experience that they've had very rarely, or if they have a lot of backstory about their desire, especially if it concerns a specific person or a relationship in the family that needs to be repaired, that has a lot of backstory, and they have a lot of negative connotations and negative associations with that relationship. Or if they're having a lot of resistance around their desire and their mind always bombards them with opposing thoughts about how it's so difficult, how it's so hard to have whatever they want, they are wondering how they can actually get into that feeling of the wish fulfilled, how they're able to conjure it up from within themselves, let alone make it dominant. So I'm here to tell you guys that it's actually much simpler than you think. It's actually much easier than you think to get into that feeling of the wish fulfilled, to catch that feeling, if you will. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason it's so simple, much simpler than you think, to conjure up the feeling of being in your wish fulfilled is because you already have the desire for it. The reason we have a desire and the reason we decide to manifest that desire is presumably to feel much better in our lives, to feel more complete, to feel happier, more fulfilled, more accomplished, more loved, more wanted. So the desire that springs within us from our higher self is usually the means to that end. In other words, if your desire is to be married to your specific person, your desire is to feel that feeling, to enjoy that experience of being married to your specific person. This means there is already something in you, there is already the part of you that's called your higher self that already knows and already has an idea how that feeling is, how that feeling feels like, how that experience feels like, how that calmness and that bliss and that feeling of safety and security and being happily married feels like to you, what kind of happy feeling it gives you, what kind of calm feeling it gives you. You already have an idea within yourself, and I dare say it's actually a pretty clear idea if you're able to listen to your heart and if you're able to listen to your higher self of how you expect to feel once that desire is realized and materialized and manifested in the 3D. So even though you haven't had the actual experience in the 3D, you do have a pretty good idea within you of how it would actually feel to have that desire, to be living that desire, and to be experiencing that desire. So all you need to do is actually go a little deeper within your imagination to conjure up that feeling and start experiencing it, start enjoying it, start making it dominant within yourself, start practicing it, and revisiting it over and over and over again until it becomes dominant and predominant within you. So even though you've never been married, you do have an idea of how it would feel like to you to be married to that person that you want. Because if you didn't have that idea of that feeling, you wouldn't even have the desire in the first place. If you're desiring financial abundance and material abundance and that safety and security that material and financial abundance would give you, you already have an idea within yourself of how it would feel like to be that person now who is financially secure, who doesn't have to worry about paying their bills, who can buy whatever they want with their money, who doesn't have to worry about money, who doesn't have to worry about bills, who can afford anything they want. Even if it's not an experience that you've had in your current 3D and in your current reality, there is still a part of you that has experienced that reality. That is your higher self. And that is why your higher self is giving you that desire, because your higher self has a pretty clear idea of how that desire would feel like for you. And so that's why the desire is born within you for that thing, for that situation, for that experience, for that relationship. So once again, it's a matter of going deeper into your imagination and conjuring up that feeling of who would I be if my desire was true right now? How would I be feeling if my desire was true right now? It doesn't matter that you haven't experienced it in your 3D. You have already experienced it in your imagination. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the desire. So that is the point I'm trying to make here. If you have the desire, you've already imagined that feeling, so you already know that feeling. So reach deeper within, conjure up that feeling, and make it dominant within you. Same with everything else. If it's health that you're desiring, if it's being cured or being healed from a specific disease, if it's changing something in your physical appearance, if it's having a better social life, if it's having a better career or changing your career, if it's something about your studies, if it's finding love and a fulfilling relationship, even if you don't have a specific person in mind. All of these things, you have the desires because you've already experienced that feeling in imagination, and you want to materialize the desire in the 3D so that that feeling that you have had already in imagination can actually become your feeling in your 3D. This, you guys, is the only reason you have the desire. This is the only reason you've been given the desire in the first place. So next time you feel concerned that, how can I get into the wishful field if I've never had that experience in the 3D? Stop yourself right there and remind yourself that I already have that experience. I already know how this feels like. Even if I haven't had the exact experience of being married or of being rich or of being healthy or of being, I don't know, gorgeous looking or whatever your desire might be, even if you haven't had the experience in the 3D, you still know how the experience would feel to you. And this is what you're looking to conjure up. This is the feeling that you're looking to make dominant within you so that you can bring that desire forth into the 3D and so that you can actually enjoy it day after day from the day it manifests. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.